What's up guys? Welcome back sa T-Pride TV. Yan. So ngayon guys, ang vlog natin ngayon ay andito ako ngayon sa Bagak, Barangay Ibaba. Yan, bali ang Bagak ay municipal ng Balaan. Yan. Bali guys, nasa Bataan ako at nasa bayan ng Bagak. So ngayon guys, ang vlog ko ngayon ay dinayo ko tong Las Casas, Filipinas di Acuzar. Ayan guys ha. So sa ngayon guys ay sumakay ako ng shuttle kanina at dinala kami dito sa Casabinyan, Laguna para sa 1:30 to 2:30 na tour. Kaya ngayon guys, ang vlog ko muna ngayon guys ay papakita ko muna yung standard tour nila. Ang pinili ko ay 1:30 to 2:30. No, Joyce naman ako, lain ng biyahe ko galing Cavite, di ba guys? So ngayon guys ha, ito muna yung intro ko. Papakita ko muna yung standard tour nila guys ha. 1 hour lang yon. Tapos mamaya guys, marami akong gagawin dito. Yan. At okay lang na mag-vlog dito guys no? So banggitin ko na rin guys ang entrance. Ang entrance dito ay pag Saturday Sunday ay 2.9 Saturday Sunday. Pag Monday to Friday ay 2.5 something, mga ganun, 2.5 ha. So ayun guys, later. So ayun guys, mag-i-start ng aming tour dito sa Las Casas, Filipinas di Acuzar.
Ayan, so bago po tayo mag-start, advice ko lang po kayo, ito po tour natin, walking tour po siya. It will last for about 1 hour to 1.5 hour. Don't worry, hindi naman po siya puro lakad lang, because during our tour, we're going to visit some selected houses po, okay? So by the way, I would also just like to ask, is there anyone from this group who cannot understand Tagalog? Okay. So, mapapalaban po pala ako. At kaya sa game po. Okay, so let's start our tour. Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, welcome to Las Casas, Filipinas de Acuzar. By the way, my name is Diana. I will be your tour guide for today. So today, I'm going to guide you into some of the historical houses that we're able to transfer and build here in Las Casas. And during our tour, we're going to visit some selected houses. But before we enter to those houses, first, we need to remove our footwears. It is one of the old Filipino tradition that we continue to practice here at the resort, and it is also a sign of giving respect to the past owners of the house. But before we start with our tour, I would also just like to give you a brief information regarding this resort. So, Las Casas Filipinas de Acuzar are Spanish words which means the houses in the Philippines of Acuzar. Acuzar, that is the surname of the owner, Mr. Jose Rizalino Acuzar, and his family of New San Jose Builders. So, he started collecting old houses in the year 2000, and he opened it to the public year 2010. So 10 years in the making. As of now, it's already 13 years in operation. So before they transfer a house here, first they need to study about the house. So from the original location of the houses, they're going to put markings at every part, and then they're going to take photos for documentations before carefully dismantling the house piece by piece, plank by plank, column by column. Then those dismantled pieces will be transferred here at Las Casas to rebuild it again based on its original structures and designs. As of now, we already have here the gap. It's only in the movie. We have nothing to do with the death of Antonio. Okay? So originally, Antonio was assassinated in Cabanatuan City. Okay, so let's proceed to the second floor. This is one of our replica house. So because right now po in Casabinyan, we only have around 1 to 5% original parts of the house. So some of those original parts are the stairs, 1700s. This ceiling that we have here, also original, and also the mirror, okay? And most of the furnitures naman po that we have here inside as owners po of this house. So let's start first with this man, okay? So this man, this is Jose Alberto Alonso. He was the 4th generation who owned this house. He was the uncle of Dr. Jose Rizal, the one who teaching sports fencing, and then he became ambassador before. Next to him, His wife, Chodora Formoso. Formoso was the one who's been locked in the room because of the affair. So the wife of Jose, Chodora Formoso. While the other two, they're also some of the past owners of this house, but they are not related with the Albertus family. Because the story of that, the second part of the house, the Italian restaurant right now, it was originally built by Jose way back 1800s. Later on, Jose Alberto decided to sell the whole house to Doña Magdalena Arevalo Riva, who had a daughter who inherited the whole house. So this one is Doña Isabel, one of our carnival queen, Queen of Luzon. Carnival queen in today's the Binibining Filipinas. Okay? Doña Isabel later on get married to a Spanish man named Macario Marco. They were also blessed with one daughter. This is Doña Pilar. Doña Pilar later on get married to a man named Soylio Alberto. They call this house Alberto's Mansion. Like I've said, this is just a replica, but still we have some original parts. Like the paintings that we have here, Isabel and Pilar, that's an original painting. These are only just replicas. This is bed of this house. So one thing that you can notice from their bed before is that it's quite small than the normal bed that we have today. Why? Because the Filipinos way back are just naturally short. The average height of the Filipinos before are only around 4 to 5 feet tall. Okay, so before we continue with the next house, so the church that you can see at your back, so the one po over there, so that is a replica of an old church in Balanga City, Bataan, the replica of our St. Joseph Cathedral. So here in this Casas, we call this Sanctuario de San Jose. As of now, still under construction, but there's already a lot of couples po who got married in the church. So it's available na po for weddings po, no? So once again po, Sanctuario from Marawi, Mindanao, okay? So for our next house, the one next to Casa Binyan, we have here Casa Baliwag Uno from Baliwag, Bulacan. So the Casa Baliwag Uno was originally built year 1898 in front of Baliwag Church, Baliwag, Bulacan. It was owned by Captain Fernando Berjaldo Chos. Captain Fernando, who also had 2 wives before. The name of his was one from Baliwag, Bulacan. So let's continue. Our second house is the Casa Quiapo from Binondo, Manila. So right now, our Casa Binondo 2, it is one of the rental house that we have here at the resort. So that's a total of 3 bedrooms, which is good for 6 people. So when you said rental houses, those are some of the houses that you can rent here in Las Casas if you want to stay for overnight stay. From Quiapo, Manila. So Casa Quiapo was originally built way back 1867, owned by Don Rafael Enriquez, and it was designed by Felix Rojas y Arroyo. So Felix, he was the first Filipino who practiced architecture in the Philippines during the Spanish era. So they said that actually this house was the biggest and the most elegant house that was built in Quiapo, Manila before. In the year 1908 to 1926, it served as the first building for University of the Philippines. Kwarto Mayor, this is the passageway for the carriage and the horses for before. And this is the small door, they call this one Pustigo. This is the passageway for us people. Now, the height of the Pustigo was basically also the same height of the Filipinos. Where we are now, from the original location of this house, they use this area as their garage. Okay? So this is where they put their carriage and their horses in this area. And unlike the first house, the Casa Binyan, this is just a replica, okay? But this Casa Quiapo, the Dukit, was tradition of Betis, Pampanga. So Dukit, it is the Kapampangan word, which means in Tagalog, Dukit, or curved in the wood. So all of the artists who made that from Betis, it's for sale. That's why, as you can see, each art piece put there's some indicated prices to it. we continue with the next houses, so I would like to invite you later. We have a street dance parade at 5 p.m. So if you guys want to watch that, they will start here in this area and then they will proceed to the boardwalk along the pier. So they will have their execution of the dances at around 5:30 or 6. So you can just follow the path. You can see that's connected on its windows. They call it canopy in English, medyo agua in Spanish. It serves as the protection of the house from directly from sunlight and also from heavy rains. So right now, Casa Tonga is one of the rental house also, 3 bedrooms, good for 6. In front of that, we have our Casa Mikawayan from Mikawayan, Bulacan. It's also one of the rental houses here with 5 bedrooms, good for 10 people. Location, because the parts of the Casa Mexico was only just found this month. For those dismantled pieces here, of course, they were clueless on how they were gonna rebuild the house since they never saw the house on its original form. So what they did before, they got their information regarding the Casa Mexico. Luckily, they found an old picture. So that photo, it became their pieces in rebuilding the as of now. Casa Lubao from Lubao, Pampanga. So Casa Lubao, it is one of the youngest house here in Las Casas. It was originally built year 1920, owned by Valentin Arastia and his wife, Francesca Salgado. The said couple were one of the few people who sponsored the education. Stories of the things that you can see here. So let's start first with that bridge, okay? The bridge over there, it is inspired from the first wood bridge in Paris. It was called Pont du. Here in Las Casas, to make it more Filipino, we called it Tulay ni Lola Bashang or Lola Bashang's Bridge. That's why at the lower part of the bridge, you will see some of the mythical creature that was a character from her stories like Kapray Mananangkal and Tikbalang. In front of the Casa Lubao, you'll also see there the statue of Lola Bashang reading books to kids. So, just a pen name. Sagisag Panulat used by Mr. Sabarino Reyes, one of the known writer in the Philippines, the one who also wrote the stories of Lola Bashang. Okay, so that's the story of Lola Bashang. And then for the river, so we have a river here. That river is a natural river. Here is the word Comer, which means to give. So they call this Comedor. At the end of the Comedor, you will see this one. So this is the old type of sink before, also known as the Banggera or Banggerahan. So this is where they washed their plates before in this sink. And then under the big windows, there are small windows like this one. So these are called ventanilla, okay? So ventanilla is also for ventilation purpose, okay? So
doon somewhere, nag-jeepney sila.
yung original parts nila are the ceilings, the ladders, the pillars, the walls, original. Some of the wooden also, some of it are also original, very also so yung mababago upang tumayin mo that me, I pressure of staying in the release, creation of Monuna, and then in front of that also creation of Monuna, the only son of Monuna, brother of Antonio. This is Casa Unisan from Unisan, Quezon Province. So Casa Unisan was originally built year 1839, owned by Antonio Maxino, and it was the first bahay na bato or stone house that was built in Unisan, Quezon Province before. So from the original location of the house, originally Casa Unisan had a secret tunnel, an underground tunnel, which was once used by the family of Antonio when they were captured by bandits. But unfortunately, that tunnel, it was already discovered by the bandits. This guy named Carmen Maxino. As of now, this is the Filipino restaurant, Kusina ni Nanay Maria. And at the second floor, it's one of the bulwagan or function room that we have here. So once again, Casa Unisan from Unisan, Quezon Province. Now, the White House that you can see over there, that's the Casa Haen Uno from Haen, Nueva Ecija. So the Casa Haen was built way back 1901, owned by Don Hilarion Santiago, the first mayor of Haen, Nueva Ecija before. So at the root part of the Casa Haen, you will notice some of the crown-like architectural designs. So those crown-like symbol, which symbolizes that the family who lived in the house before came from wealthy and rich family. So when you go home po to your houses, you can also have that, okay? Palagay din po kayo. So once again po, that's the Casa Haen 1 from Haen, Nueva Ecija. And now the wrong building po that we have over there with the blue doors, that's our payback 1900s. At the ground floor of the building, we have the souvenir shop, La Tiendecitas. We also have the Fotografia, the studio where you can take some pictures po, and then you can dress up as Maria Clara or whatever do you want po, no? So at the second and third floor of the building, we have the rental rooms that we have here in Las Casas, okay? Those are rental rooms po. So that's the Paseo de la Escolta from Escolta, Manila. Okay, let's continue. Over there po, you can see the three-story house with the green doors. So that's our Casa Byzantine, or also known as the Casa Binondo 3 from Binondo, Manila. So Casa Byzantine was the first three-story house that was built in Binondo, Manila in the year 1890, owned by Don Lorenzo or UM until now. So as of now, our Casa Byzantine, it served her here as one of our first-class hotel, one of the premier hotel. It has a total of 7 bedrooms. It can be occupied by 16 people. If you rented the Casa Byzantine, the inclusions of the house are full butler service, standard cocktail and breakfast that was before our Vice Ganda, Sarah Geronimo, and Heart Evangelista. So that's the Casa Byzantine. Okay, let's continue now. This is the last house, but before that, so let me just tell you the story po of the staff of houses. Those houses po, those are the Casa Cagayan from Cagayan Valley. It composed with 4 stilt house, Casa Cagayan 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the typical structure of the houses for the ordinary Filipinos before. Because before, it's more expensive na po to have a house made out of stone rather than those type of houses which are all made out of wood. From the original statue, it was found at the vicinity of Iglesia ni Cristo. That's why it served as the function area for the church before. Right now, this is one of our rental house. There is a 2 bedrooms with 1 hall. So Casa Balibo po. For our last house, we have Casa Luna from Luna, La Union. So Casa Luna was built originally way back 1850, owned by Don Comitivo Novicio, the author of the famous Luna Brothers, General Antonio Luna and Juan Luna, one of the Philippine Masters of Art. Luna La Union was renamed Luna La Union before. In the year 1906, they changed it to Luna La Union to serve recognition with the Luna Brothers. And in the year, aliping sa gigilid and okay, namamahay. So we have 2 types. Here in the Philippines, we have 2 types of alipin or servants. We have the aliping sagigilid side servants, and then we also have aliping namamahay, the in-house servants. So as we enter the Casa Luna, the first thing that we will see in the house is there is a narrow passage at the side part of the Casa Luna, and then it go around the house. They called it volada. So the volada, it served as a narrow passageway for the aliping sagigilid before, also known as the side servants. So meaning, aliping sagigilid are only allowed to enter the house using the narrow passage at the side. So we're just gonna stay here at the side part. Okay, so all of the things that you can see here inside of this house, all of it are empty collection of the owner, Mr. Acuzar, including the pieces, the Chinawares, some of the Chinawares that they have here, cabinets, that's of the national heroes. Okay, I'm sorry, sir. That's the side. These are pink. Okay? So once you see smiling before, especially with the stranger, so it means you're flirting with him. That's the reason. Okay, so here in the last room of this house, we have that's their siren when there's an emergency in their town. They will also have different type of jars, radio, projector for cinemas, phonograph, cook-in-can collections over there. And we also have an old camera, coffee grinders. Okay? These are all collection of Mr. Acuzar. Now over there, I'll show you. Forward tayo dito. Okay. So the first charcoal irons after the plain sa Tipaa, it started with this one. So this is the first. So this one they called it prensa de corona, or simply just prensa. So you just have to put your charcoals here at the top, like the two one that we have here. Then from here you have to insert a wood to serve as your handle. So this is the first. Then after, are you familiar with this one? Okay, so this is the most familiar Yes, inside, you have to put your charcoals. At the top of your clothes, you have to put a banana leaf. Okay? And then after that, we also have this. Travel size. Small version, okay? So this one is very small, but it's almost as heavy with the big one that we have. And then we also have this type. It looks electric, right? Like the one that we used today, but they still use charcoals with this because here we have a compartment for the charcoals. You just have to put the charcoals inside. You have to put your iron at the top for the heat to transfer. Wireless. Okay. And then we also have Singer. Okay, the most famous brand of sewing machine. Singer, Sisha. 2 lamps, display canon. This one is for clothing. And so that's the toilet. Casillas, that's what they call the toilet before. Normally, they built it separated in the house near river. So basically, the waste will go straight to the rivers where the fish are. And then, if your house is not near river, you just have to dig a hole where your waste will go straight to. But the only problem before, in other provinces in the Philippines, they said that in those holes, they will also put waste, very small like that. Okay? So it's latrine type of toilets. What type? They're bonding time before using the toilet. So that will be the exit if you guys will know. So this is our Las Casas, Filipinas de Acuzar, our pride in the past and hope for the future. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your stay here. Thank you so much po. So by the way, please don't forget po to watch the shows that we have available for today. Like I've said po, 5 p.m.
So, ayun guys, kakatapos lang ang kanilang standard tour. Yun lang ang tawag ko, no? Standard tour, guys. So, ngayon guys, ay abayin natin yung kasama sa binayaran nating tunay yung balsa muna unahin daw pa majority balsa yung gusto ko sanang kalese, sige balsa na lang daw muna. So hinihintay ko guys dito sa Casa, Lubao yung registration, pakita mo yung resibo mo, tapos dito rin kayo guys mag-ano for rent yan sa mga bagay nakita nyo sa vlog yun kung kayo lang tour guide na mag-aaya yan. Pag na-streaming kayo rito yan, pwede kayo mag-rent ng mga bike dyan, tsaka yung ano ba yung tawag sa apat na gulong hanggang ngayon ang kasama sa tunay nga yung balsa at kalesa. Yes ha? Tapos after nun sariling gala natin hanggang gabi tayo dito guys ha, kaya pakita ko sa inyo at may enjoy sa mga pakita kong video.